It's not happening. What's going on, guys? It is your girl Dax, and welcome back to the channel. And we are back at it again with another volume 1 review where I take the first volume of a manga series and review it for your viewing pleasure. Last time we talked about Heaven's Design Team and we learned some fun fact about some little bitty animals. So if you would like to check that out, I will leave it linked up above, or you can see the entire playlist down below in the description, along with a couple of other playlists if you'd like to check those out as well. I am so excited for today's episode. I'm going to try very hard not to be biased, but today we are talking about Record of Ragnarok. This was one of my most anticipated releases for 2022, and I'm so happy that I finally have it in my arms, and it was worth every bit of the wait for me. Imagine a world where gods from different religions and famous humans have to battle each other in the fight for life. So every millennium, all the gods get together and they have a conference and decide if humanity deserves to live on or if they should wipe the slate clean and just start over new. So the eldest of the 13 Valkyrie sisters, Brunhilde, I think is how you say it, suggests that humans should have, a fighting chance. The gods want to wipe them clean, and that's just too simple. So the gods agree, and thus the Record of Ragnarok is born. 13 gods versus 13 humans, and the first to 7 victories win. Y'all, I love this so much. I love the art. I will say that there are a couple of panels that are kind of muddy because there's action going on, and sometimes I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at, but it's only a couple of times. The characters are great. I love the different representations of the different religions that are in here, and so far we've got a nice little variety. Zeus, Thor, Shiva, Aphrodite, like everybody's in here. And this is just the first volume, so I can only imagine where it's gonna go. I found myself stopping to Google some people, which was completely unnecessary because all of the information that you need is in the manga, and if you've never heard of somebody, it does not matter. It does not hinder the enjoyment of the story. You learn the backgrounds of the opponents as they come to battle. They did it in the first volume. I'm assuming they're going to do it in all of the volumes. And as somebody who really enjoys theology and learning different religions and how they came to be, if you will, this was just so good. And I inadvertently learned something about another anime because of this, and we'll get into that later in the spoiler section, so if you want to see what I'm talking about, be sure to hang out for a while. My only major complaint about this is on the very last page, they tell you everybody that's on both of the teams, so you know who's coming up in the upcoming volumes. And I feel like half of the anticipation of this volume was seeing who was up to bat. And I enjoyed the anticipation so much, and they just killed it. So hopefully I will forget, which I probably will because my memory's not that great. I will forget who is coming on board, and I won't show it in this one because I don't like it, okay? You killed the anticipation, but other than that, it was a fantastic read. I highly recommend this manga. I'm trying not to be biased. I might be a little bit biased, but if you enjoy fighting manga or theology or history or stories with a high stake, this is what you want. And I know it's early in the year. I know it's only the end of January, but so far, this is my top contender, okay? I might be overselling it at this point, but listen, I love this.
It's just a book.
Alright, so we are going to move over into the spoiler territory. If you do not want Record of Ragnarok spoiled for you, I suggested you just get on out of here, but please be sure to like and subscribe before you go. If you don't care and you want to see what all the hype is about, hang out for a little while. We finna go down memory lane. Just a side note before we get started, I will be using scans to show some stuff and to help the story because there's a lot of characters that we're gonna get into. With that being said, The translation obviously is not one-to-one to the manga, so if it looked like it doesn't make sense, it's because it doesn't make sense. Also, it is guaranteed that I'm about to mispronounce some stuff, so here's your warning. The Conference of Extinction is starting, and Zeus is going around, and he is trying to get the gods' votes in so they can decide whether to get rid of humanity or keep humanity for a little bit longer. And they're in this huge stadium, arena type situation, and the oldest Valkyrie, Brunhilde, and the youngest Valkyrie, Gear, are up in the rafter, excuse me, and they're watching all of this go down. So Gear's super worried about the humans. Brunhilde doesn't seem like she cares too much. They're just observing what's going on. And Gear's like, we gotta do something because this is crazy. This isn't right. Yada yada blah blah blah. So Shiva, who is beautiful, do you hear me? Beautiful, says that y'all need to just get rid of the humans. They're not doing anything. We've given them chance after chance and they are just not improving. Okay, so it's time to get rid of them and let a different species hit the top of the food chain. Aphrodite, who not only has a man just holding her tatas up for her, but has a chair made out of a man. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Anyway, she agrees with Shiva and it's like, they don't care about the earth and we've given them chance after chance. They pollute these waters, they tear down the forest, and they are slowly but surely killing the earth. The humans have become a cancer to the planet Earth, and honestly, she's not wrong. So with this being said, with this coming from Aphrodite's, all of the gods are like, yes, kill the humans, we don't need them, forget about them. So because, you know, again, Gear is not with this, she starts panicking. I guess this is her first time really witnessing this. So Gear knows that if the gods want it to be, that it will be. So the humans are about to be extinguished. All their little lights are about to go out and there's nothing she can do, and she starts to panic because she knows this. So as Zeus gets ready to make the official announcements that we will once again wipe the slate clean, Brunhilde takes it upon her little Valkyrie self to interrupt the meeting. And the gods are like, whose man's is this? Like, who does she think she is? You are not a god. You have no say-so here. You have no right or authority as a funky little Valkyrie to interrupt this meeting, okay? Odin, get your girl. So now Odin's pissed because she's out here making the Norse look bad. You know, they got a reputation to uphold, if you will, and she's out here talking all out of line, talking to whoever she wants to. You're a Valkyrie. You're not a god. Stay in your place. But do you think she stays in her place even after Odin tells her to stay in her place? Oh no, no. Nay, nay. She keeps talking. Child, she brave. You got all the gods in there? Oh, you trying to get smoted? Whatever it's called, you're going down. So she says she understands that obviously the humans don't deserve a chance, but isn't mass distinction kind of just boring at this point? Like, shouldn't we give them a run for their money? Give them a test of some sort, something. And she announces this like it's some kind of WWE Royal Rumble, just like Ragnarok. 13v13, first to 7 wins. And honestly, it's given Dragon Ball Z tournament arc, but I'm here for it. So at this point, you're probably like me. You're probably thinking, how in the world are 13 humans supposed to beat 13 gods? And I had the same question, and so did the gods, because let's be real. They don't even need 13. They just need 1. They barely need him. I'm sure he got a pet somewhere, and they can make that happen quick. So the gods decide that her proposal is stupid and pointless because, like I said, what human can beat a god? And this heifer, Brunhilde, is crazy, okay? She goes, if you scared, just say that. To Zeus? Are you out your mind?
So you have chosen death.
So now Zeus is pissed because how dare she? And honestly, I don't blame him because how dare she, right? You gonna tell me that gods are supposed to be scared of humans? Humans. No power, no talent having humans. Really? Really, Brunhilde? So now he's got to show us the wrath of the gods. And all the other gods agree, okay? The humans need to be put in their place. And the Valkyrie absolutely need to be put in their place. So now it's time to make it happen. So Brunhilde and Geir, I feel like I keep changing her name every time I say it. Geir? Geir. Geir. Geir? Geir? We're gonna go with Geir because I have no idea. So Geir and Brunhilde are leaving the arena and Geir is like, have you lost your mind? Are you trying to get us killed? And once again, I agree with old girl because she tripping. And here Brunhilde explains that the Valkyrie have a closer relationship with the gods. The Valkyrie have a closer relationship with the humans than they do with the gods. Their job as Valkyrie are to protect the human souls. Therefore, somebody has to stand up for them because obviously the gods don't care about them. And in walks an incubus. So this incubus comes by and is like, heard you been causing trouble. You better watch out, girl. But you know what? It's okay because I can protect you. And I would be more than happy to do it as long as you let an incubus do what an incubus does, if you know what I'm saying. So she drops down to her knees and the incubus is like, alright. And she goes, I'm not dropping down for you. And he's like, huh? And she's like, I'm just getting out of the way. And before he can register what's happening and before we can register what's happening, his guts are on the wall. And in walks Thor with his hammer. Okay, so listen, I understand that Thor's hammer is called Mjolnir, but I'm having a hard enough time with some of these names, so we're gonna keep this one simple and it will be called a hammer for the rest of this video. So Thor's like, listen, Brunhilde, I don't know what you're playing at, but it better be worth my while, or I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna kill you. Chris Hemsworth would never. So with that, Brunhilde runs off because she needs to get her 13-man roster together because the Ragnarok is about to go down right now. Our boy Heimdall is getting the crowd warmed up to get ready for this battle in his finest boxer ring announcer voice. The rules are simple. Fight to the death, and the winner is decided by complete annihilation of the opposite team. Introducing the contender from the God's Corner. His hammer can tear up the seas and lands. The Berserker of Thunder, Nordic strongest. Let's give it up for Thor! Let's go! Listen, the gods did not come to play with these humans. Do you hear me? Thor, as your starting lineup, you gonna start off with Thor? Like, go hard or go home. Y'all really don't want this to get past the first round, do you? And in humanity's corner, China's finest, the strongest man in history, Lu Bu. Who? Alright, so I'm not gonna hold you. I had to look this guy up because I had never heard of him before. If I would have waited, I would have got all the information that I needed in the manga volume. So they covered that. So like I said earlier, you don't have to Google, okay? Everything is provided for you. However, if you are into history, it was a good read. It was a very interesting read. So these intros had me mad hyped to the point that I might be willing to go back and see just how bad that Netflix adaptation was, because I hear it's horrible. But I don't see how you can mess that up. Like, on paper, I was, yeah. So to be animated, how bad can it be? So I didn't want to show all of the panels of the manga, but Boo's intro had me feeling like I could hear the drums, had me hyped. You know, he's got his men in the back. They are standing by his side, and it's just so good. Anyway, back to the story. So round one, Lu Bu versus Thor, right? There's a man in the crowd who begins to pray for Boo's victory so the humans can live. And Brunhilde turns to him and is like, bro, what the, like, why are you praying to the gods that are right over there that want you to lose? What are you doing? And y'all, the way I cackled the first time I read that, just because honestly, that's something I would do. I'd be like, hey, sweet baby Jesus, listen, we can use your help right now. Meanwhile, Jesus got his iPhone just like, I don't know why Jesus has an iPhone. I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. So the fight kicks off and neither one of them are taking a defensive stance. They're just standing there looking at each other, and then slowly they start walking towards each other. And everyone's like, why aren't they, you know, you walking into a fight, you something. They just chilling. They Then Brunhilde points out that each man's claim to fame is being able to take out their opponent with one swing. Who gets off the first swing? Now, Thor's hammer stops the swing. Are we surprised? No. However, Thor swings and he's stopped by Boo's weapon. And I'm like, huh? So somehow these two have managed to be evenly matched. I'm confused. The gods are confused. Thor is confused. We all just sitting around confused. So Thor strikes a pose that Dio himself would be proud of and comes from way back here to swing. But before he gets that swing off, we get a flashback. Now, I wasn't going to go into their backstories just for time's sake, but I needed to touch on this just in case I'm not the only one who didn't know this information. Maybe this is just information that's already out there and I just did not know, but I refuse to be befuddled by myself. So let's talk about Thor's hammer and its origin. So once upon a time, everybody in Asgard was minding their merry little business and the giants start attacking. And the guards like, don't worry, these walls are strong. They're impenetrable. They've never been able to break through. And what happens? A giant's like, bitch, you thought, and breaks through the wall. And guess what? They start jacking stuff up and they start eating people. Does this sound familiar to anybody? Anybody? Y'all ever seen a people kebab before? You're welcome. Anyway, Thor single-handedly kills all 66 giants all by his little lonesome. Yes, he does, and he does it without breaking a sweat. And thus, that insta-kill technique called Thor's hammer, it was born that day. And back at the arena, we're about to watch it go down. A massive lightning strike comes down as Thor brings his hammer forward from way back here, and he hits Boo. And not only does this mofo survive, but he has the audacity to get a hit off on Thor and slices him dead in his stomach.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
From here, we insert Boo's flashback. Again, I'm going to skip over it for time's sake and we're going to keep it pushing. So Zeus and Hermes are chilling up in the stadium seating that they have and is watching this fight go down, and Zeus is just so confuddled. Like, how is this happening? How did this man not only, first of all, withstand Thor's first hit, but now you gonna withstand the insta-kill Thor hammer combo 2-piece chicken piece nugget? How? He should not be able to survive these things, let alone go toe-to-toe with Thor. And then he looks across the way. And there is standing Brunhilde, with just the smirkiest of smirks on her face. Like, oh, you thought this was gonna be easy, Zeus? You thought we was just gonna let our people die? Nah. I got tricks too. Then Zeus has a moment and realizes what's going on. So I'm like, dang, Zeus, clue me in because I'm lost. So as the story goes, only god weapons or divine weapons can go against other divine weapons. Valkyries have the ability to sacrifice their lives, to sacrifice their bodies, to give a weapon a divine power or a divine source. There's 13 Valkyries. There's 13 humans. So wouldn't you know it, Brunhilde called a meeting with her sisters and was like, hey sisters, listen, this is what we about to do, okay? We're about to sacrifice ourselves. We're about to give these humans a fighting chance. And I can't remember the sister's name, but she is inside of Boo's weapon thing. I don't know what it's called. I'm so sorry. I should have looked it up, but it's like a big stick with a little pointy end. I don't know. So back down at the arena, Boo is just jacking up Thor with his little Valkyrie stick, and he manages to break Thor's gloves, thus making Thor drop his hammer. And the crowd goes wild. Now, why are these gloves important? These gloves are important because Thor needs them to wield his hammer, apparently. So Zeus finally comprehends that the Valkyries aren't with the gods at all. The Valkyrie are on the human side, and then proceeds to say that this is the greatest thing since the Big Bang. However, back down at the arena, Thor's hammer is melting, and it's vibrating, and to me it looked like it got a little bigger, and everyone is like, what the fuck? And so now Zeus pops up and says, you know, a common misconception about Thor's gloves is that he needs them to wield his hammer, to protect himself from the hammer. But no, let me tell you why he really needs those gloves. The gloves are not to help out Thor, to protect Thor. No, these gloves are to protect the hammer from Thor and his blows. So now it's on him popping, because Thor ain't got no gloves and he about to batter up for real. Meanwhile, the official 13v13 roster has come through on what looks like this girl's sidekick. Y'all remember T-Mobile sidekicks? I had one. It was pretty snazzy. Anyway, she's looking at it, and like I said, I'm not going to show the list here. If you want to know who's all in it, who's on the rosters, feel free to look it up for yourself. But for me, it just kind of killed the momentum of the story right there. And not only that, that's the end of the volume. So Thor's about to do a super duper attack ×3, and I gotta wait for volume 2. I don't appreciate it. However, I will be getting volume 2. Even if it didn't end on a cliffhanger, I was going to get volume 2 because I love this series so much. We've been doing really good. I haven't had a bad review since Love and Heart. Was that the last bad review I had? I can't remember. But the next volume is not due until April 19th. And that's assuming it doesn't get pushed back, because I've been getting a lot of pushback emails here lately and I'm not really feeling it, but I understand. Anyway, that is all for today's review. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Let me know if you plan on reading Record of Ragnarok. Let me know how you feel about the story, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!